Oh yeah, I went and watched with him the first couple weeks. What's up, everybody?
Okay.
I have no idea if this is gonna work, but let's try this. Yes, push guest. Look at us getting it
We're
figured out.
live.
We are live, and I figured out how to get you on here, Sturls.
About time, man.
Hey, listen, not all of us are the smartest. You know what I mean? Some of us just need a little bit of love, a little help as we go through. Okay, so I need to move this one up. Hey, all right. All right. Well, welcome back in, everybody. There were a couple of you who were hanging out before, but I'll reset the whole damn thing. So, welcome in. I don't know. We didn't really pick a name for the show. Stills, do we want to pick a name for the show? Do you care? That was like Bets with the Boys, or I was trying to think of
Right.
something with, Sturls or something. I don't know.
Degenerates 1.0.
We'll go
I
all
don't
around
know.
the NFL. We will pick all the games because we have a problem, and we'll try to answer any questions that you have. If you have like fantasy questions or anything like that, bring those too. Questions that you have. If you have,
yeah.
I mean, that's not a problem for us at all. So if you got any questions about stardom, sit-ums, we're good to go. But this video will also be available on demand. So if you are watching it before the games, but after we do the picks, feel free to hit us up on Twitter. I mean, I guess I shouldn't make you available without asking you, Sterls, but you can hit me up on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm available, man. I'm with the shits.
All right, I'm just making sure. But yeah, hit us up. Let us know what your questions are, and we're happy to answer any betting questions that you have. I also like to build a little parlay, and it didn't sound like Sterls was too interested in that. But I thought
That's a
maybe we'd do
lie.
a little dog parlay. And if you want to get in on that, we will try to pick ones that we think actually will win. Like, I'm not just, Sterls builds a 2014 parlay that he doesn't expect to win it all for college football every
Okay.
week.
Yeah, every week.
Go ahead. Go defend yourself. Go ahead.
Well, there's no defense. Okay. Now, I do this because I'm one of those guys that just believe like I'll win the lottery one day or I'm gonna hit this 20 team parlay. And you know what? Last year I got close. I hit 17 out of 20.
But
Okay.
like, okay, but how much money are you throwing away each time you do that?
No, I only it's for fun.
I
So I
mean,
do like $5 or $10.
I get
But for
that.
the NFL, I put real money into it.
Well, thank God
I
for
don't-
that.
I use pesos for my college parlays.
No pesos here. We're betting real money.
Yeah.
Kenny, 24 teams on $10 got to pay a lot. Yeah, what are your
Oh,
totals coming
dude.
out on that?
Oh,
Well, if
bro, it's
if
like
you were to
30,
magically hit it,
40,000, 100,000. It's crazy. And so I sit there like, oh my God, like Bob Barker's gonna call me, or what was that Publishers Clearinghouse?
yeah. Oh God, what was that guy's name?
Yeah, what was his
Oh
nim?
I don't remember. I don't
I'm
remember.
gonna look it up real quick.
You got
Who
it.
is that guy? But I
I
sit there like
yeah
I'm him,
yeah.
thinking he's gonna
No.
call me.
Here's the thing. What do you do when that parlay that you build, that's ridiculous, by the way, and every true bettor, every like
Ed
professional bettor.
McMahon.
Oh,
Ed
that's,
McMahon.
that's right. That's right. Every professional true bettor would say to you, don't bet parlays. Like, only bet straight. And
Right.
so what do you do when it's the 10 o'clock start for the game? We're in mountain time. So, if it was 10 a.m. mountain, it's noon Eastern. But what do you do
Right.
for when your first game on your parlay eats it? Do you load up again, or are you just done for the day?
Oh, so what I'll do is I'll do the afternoon games. Like the 1 o'clock
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
throwing
I'll,
away,
I'll do a string of those.
just light money on fire, Sterls. Just
Lighting it, just
light money on
gasoline.
fire.
Set that shit afire. A fire. I saw it on a fire.
All right, let's get into the NFL. As we said, we'll pick every single game. And if you got questions about specific games or fantasy players, go ahead and let us know. We'll start with the Patriots and the Jets. Patriots, 2.5-point favorites on the road in the Meadowlands. Sterling, I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, so I believe that the Jets have not beat the Patriots in the last 12 tries. Um, like that's terrible, and the Jets are just banking on the fact that they can get one today. So this is one of those games where, like, the football analyst in me says the Jets have a really good shot to win this game, right? Jets have one of the best defenses in the league.
Home
You know,
dog.
they think that their quarterback, Zach Wilson's going to play better. He played a little bit better last week, right? So they're hoping on the fact that maybe they can get Brees Hall more than four or five touches, right? So if I'm betting this game, which I did, I took the Jets with the points.
I mean, home dog is always hard to avoid, especially with a defense that is that good.
Right.
But here's the thing that gets me, and it's the only thing slowing me down. And just so you know, if you're watching, I'm literally going to place my bets as we go through these games. So, like, I am actually betting on these games. I'm not just saying it. The Patriots played really well against two really good teams.
Right.
Eagles and the Dolphins, like, it's early in the season. We still got to get through injuries and stuff like that. The Dolphins looked like superheroes for the first 4 weeks last year, ended up not being, okay? But right now, that looks like it could be a Super Bowl matchup, doesn't it?
For real.
And those are the two teams that they lost to. So, yes, the Patriots are coming in at 0-2, but those are two really, really good teams. Now, the line is juiced a little bit towards the Patriots here, meaning there must be a ton of money coming in on the Patriots. They're trying to get you to bet on the Jets, which always worries me. All right, so you're going Jets plus 2.5?
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you a question real quick though. But don't you think that because New England has played two really good close games, and the first game against the Eagles, I don't even consider that, like, I don't even count that just because it's opening weekend, right? But
Yeah.
they played the Dolphins pretty well. It's a division opponent. Bill Belichick is one of the best defensive minds ever lived. How can you keep that consistency into week 3 here? And that's why I'm like, okay, that's why I'm going to pick the Jets here, because I'm banking on the fact that you guys aren't going to be consistent, right? Like,
That
it's
the
one of those things
Patriots
where,
aren't going to be consistent? I mean, you're
yeah,
talking about Bill Belichick still. You know what
that's
I
what I'm
mean?
saying.
Like,
Right, right. Okay, here we go. And then the betting gods say that's where they get you. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it'll be one of those games where, like, we all think and know that the Patriots should, and we expect them to win this game. But man, if I went on every single inkling of my intuition of who's going to win this game in a betting perspective, I'm going to end up losing, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go against my better judgment, and I'm going to pick the Jets. And this is why I get in trouble with betting, because I'm like, I know, it's like I feel like I know enough of the game. I know too much.
Yeah.
And then it's like my mind starts fucking with me a little bit. So
So
that's why I got to go with the Jets.
at the end of all of that, you're still going to do the thing that you think you're overthinking about.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm betting the Patriots. I'm betting the
You
Patriots.
asshole.
Listen,
You
I
would.
think I think
You're just doing that because I'm not.
I think Zach Wilson honestly would is not too much worse than Mac Jones, and I do think the Jets have a better defense. But I just don't think there's any way that the Patriots fall to 0-3.
So
Like,
are we parlaying this, or are we doing a straight bet?
no, let's just do the straight bets and then we'll go through and do a parlay at the end.
All right, let's go. I'm
Mysterious,
gonna
thanks for
take your
jumping
word on
in.
this. You know what? I'm gonna take your word. How much you putting in on this?
I do $5 a game. I don't bet a lot because I bet every single game. So Mysterious jumped in the chat. Risk T Higgins if Burrow doesn't play or start Keandre Miller. Our first start him, sit him question. I risk T Higgins.
Yeah,
It's too much upside.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
might, yeah, it's too much upside. I play T Higgins there.
Yeah, and he hasn't really done anything in 2 weeks. I mean, Burrow's been hurt. T. Higgins, he's gonna pop off eventually. This will be the week.
Yeah, it'll be the week he's on your bench for sure.
Yep.
All right. Next one is Bills at Commanders. Bills minus 5.5 points. I make it a rule not to bet on my own team. So this is the only game I won't actually bet as we're sitting here talking about
But I
it.
will.
But Sterls will because he's a degenerate.
I'm a degenerate.
Do you want me to go first on this one here, Sterls? Or
Yeah, go
do you
for
want
it.
to go first every time? We haven't
No,
really
go for
discussed
it.
how we're going to do it. All right, I'll go first on this one. Listen, I think that Commanders team is way better than people think they are. And this is the case with teams that are up and coming. You don't often give them being credit for good until they prove it. But they're good before they prove it, right? This Commanders team has looked really good the first couple weeks. Granted, their competition has not been very good. But that defensive line is so good, stellar. And Sam Howell looked, man, did you see that throw he laced in there between the two safeties? It was like a
To
40-yard
McLaurin?
throw. Yeah, it was beautiful. Thing was beautiful.
That was nice. That was
I say,
nice.
I say all that to say to you, it is supposed to be a tropical storm in Washington today. It is supposed to rain a bunch. I don't know if that's still true. I don't know if the storm passed through there. But 5.5 at home is a lot, even against my Bills, who I think can handle this. But I would take, if I'm betting this, I would take the Commanders and the points. What do you think, Stills?
Ew. I wouldn't do that. Let me tell you why. Here's the problem that you're gonna have here. So Sam Howell's been sacked 10 times in 2 games. Okay. Um, his time to throw is like 2.2 seconds. I made a note of when I was watching film this week. 2.88 seconds time to throw. He's holding on to the football. This is one of those games where, if you're the Bills, how do you manufacture pressure, right? Without just rushing four. If you can consistently get home, you're gonna cause him to make some mistakes. And I think that's what the Bills are going to do today. So, look, I know that the defensive line for the Commanders is pretty good. And I think that can, if the Commanders were to keep this thing close, that's where they're going to get it, is through the defensive line. I mean, they're going to put pressure and stress on this Bills offensive line. And
Which
unlike
has
last
not been
week where they
good.
facts, right.
Which is the
Un-
offensive line has not been good.
no, where they, Max Crosby was the only real threat, right? So they got to chip him, use a lot of 12 and 13. Now, you have to win your one-on-ones individually, and I think that's going to be an issue. However, the Bills have played the Commanders before with this defensive line, right? And what I can sense on film is that they're extremely aggressive. They're not very disciplined when it comes to their rush lanes. Okay, so I think Josh Allen, if you're going to bet like a, you know, same game parlay, this is where you want to bet him to have over 50 yards rushing. This is a game like that. So I think the Bills have too much firepower. McDermott has a pretty good history of, you know, kind of corralling young quarterbacks. I think this will be no different. And from what I've heard so far, for the weather, it's just sprinkling right now. Nothing crazy.
But
So it should be,
has been for like a day, right? Like it has been
yeah,
raining there for like a full day,
yeah. Yesterday and the day before, it rained hard.
which means
But
that
so far,
the
field's wet.
track is going to be wet. Yeah, and that's
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
what I think is going to affect this. I really feel like it's just going to be a little bit of a slog of a game, and it's going to end up the Bills are going to win it, but like by a field goal. You know what I mean? Like I would take the 5.5 points just because I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a slog.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bills are
da-
1-1 this season against the spread, by the way.
Yeah, and listen, they're normally spread proof. Like they are one of the few teams in the NFL
Yep.
that it doesn't matter what kind of spread you put against them, they seem to cover all the time. Daddy
Yep.
Duffy says they also gave up a 21-point lead. If you're talking about the Commanders, no, they vanquished an 18-point lead. They were down 21-3 and came back and won that game against the Broncos. Sam Howell definitely deserves credit for that. So we
And
are.
don't you think coming back from something like that, a big rallying win like that, it goes back to consistency. Can you do it again? And I don't think they can. You know?
I think they can because their strength is their lines. You know what I mean? Particularly their defensive line. And line play doesn't fluctuate as much as some other positions. So I don't know. I believe in them, and I just think the weather is going to be a big factor there today.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Texans at the Jaguars. C.J. Stroud heading into Jacksonville for the first time. He's catching 7.5 points to play the Jags, who looked game against the Kansas City Chiefs, but couldn't quite pull it out. What you think, Sturls?
Yeah, in this matchup, first of all, shout out to CJ Stroud who looks the part, right? I think he's doing an incredible job. The Jaguars have been inconsistent this season so far. Even though they're 1-1, they just you expected a better output last week against the Chiefs, and they just couldn't do it. But I think with a playoff caliber squad like the Jaguars, and this being a AFC South game, right? So it kind of counts as 2 to me. So the Jaguars got to win this. What's the spread on this one? Was it like 3 points?
7.5.
7.5? Oh my God!
Jaguars are
dude,
7.5 point favorites at home.
Yo, Texans. I'm taking the Texans.
Any
spread that big, you gotta take that. That's a massive spread for the NFL.
If you saw me with the Patriots-Jets game, I was sitting there looking at my phone, going back and forth, trying to decide who I want. For this game, punch it in. Jaguars -7. Absolutely.
You think they're going to blow them out?
Jaguars -7.5, and I didn't even hesitate, which means it's absolutely the one I'm going to lose. No. Listen, man.
You sound like me now.
Listen, look at the money lines. I mean, the Texans are plus 300 on the money line. They lost to the Colts, who lost Anthony Richardson by like 15 points. I mean, this Texans team is going to be building, granted, but this Jaguars team is building in a different way. They're trying to build into a contender. And I believe in Calvin Ridley. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think they've got a pretty good defense. I just think I have never run faster to put my money down on the Jaguars -7.5. And it's even juiced. Like, a lot of people are taking the Texans because they're trying. If you look at the 115, 105. By the way, we are getting all our lines from BetMGM. So I don't know if you guys have other sites you use. If the line is a little bit different and you want to know if that changes our pick, feel free to drop it in the chat and we will tell you if that would change our pick or not. But I have never run faster to put money on a game than I did for Jaguars-Texans. Any other thoughts on that?
Ooh.
Never run faster, Sturls. You're such a hater.
I ain't seen you run, so.
Yeah, actually got. Listen, hey.
You got some jets?
Hey, for a fat boy, I can move a little bit. All right.
I move like a cheetah.
For a big fella, I can move. Okay.
I believe it, man. I believe it. Man, Kenny, I'm taking the spread on this.
Hold on. Before we get there, Kenny G. That's awesome. Kenny G in the chat says the Jags D is a little rough, I think. Lloyd Jenkins and Cisco can only do so much. I think they need a couple more guys to step up. I don't disagree with that. They need Allen to play like a superstar, the other Josh Allen to play like a superstar. But I just think their offense is going to be that good, man. I really do. And the Texans are not exactly a fearsome competitor, if you know what I mean. So that's why I like them.
You know what? When we talk about the injury report, Denzel Perriman's out, Jalen Petre's out, Derek Stingley's on IR. Like Laramie Tunsil is out. So 82 degrees and rainy.
They lost to the Colts by like 2 touchdowns with Garner Minshew.
All right, you know what? Fine.
No, you don't get to flip. No, you
I do. I do whatever I want.
I hope you're keeping track of yours, by the way. I'm keeping track of mine because I'm literally betting as we go along. But I hope you're keeping track of yours so I can give you a hard time tomorrow.
Let's see. I'm doing them in a parlay.
That's fine. As long as you're putting them all in there, so we can go through and see how many you got right and wrong. Kenny G agrees with you about the injuries. TTV jumps in the chat for the first time. I believe the Patriots will be so bad that we get into the top 5. Horrible season incoming. We already picked the Pats Jets game. I would be shocked if that happens. If to get into the top 5, you mean like win 2 games all year? Oh man, I don't know. I don't think they're that bad. I think they'll win 7 or 8 games and be annoyingly in the middle. Is what I think.
Yeah, Bill Belichick is too good of a coach for that to happen. Unless they, Mac Jones gets hurt and Bailey Zappi is just shits all over himself. I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
Were they gonna get Malik Cunningham and have him play quarterback?
Oh God, they're gonna draft Shador. Oh, it would be my worst nightmare.
I'll take that. Get Shador. That'd be great.
No, it'd be my worst nightmare.
He ain't gonna be that great. I don't think.
No, but I don't want to have to root against him. You know what I mean? Like I hate that. When Carmelo Anthony, I like Syracuse. I'm not like a huge fan, but when Carmelo Anthony went from Syracuse to Denver, it was like, do you know how happy it made my life? Like I get to just keep rooting for this guy. That's amazing. All right, Colts and Ravens. Let's see. We've got Colts plus 7.5. No Anthony Richardson this week. He had been in concussion protocol all week. So Garner Minshew is going to get the start. This is another game that is in that area of the tropical storm. So 7.5 points scares the piss out of me. Who went first last time? Is this me or you?
This one will go to me. Here we go. 7.5 for the Colts. Oh yeah, I'm taking the Ravens on this one.
Listen, and the Ravens have looked good through their first 2 weeks, but they don't blow people out. They just never have. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got a wet track at Gross Field. You got Garner Minshew, who I think is more reliable in terms of scoring points than Anthony Richardson. Not that Anthony Richardson's not better, but just right now, if you're trying to tell me get a couple field goals kind of mindset for betting, I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Colts and the points here.
Man, this one scares the hell out of me. This is a game where I would not even touch as a bettor. I wouldn't even touch it because it just smells trap game. Like you expect the Ravens to come in here and house these guys, right? Backup quarterback, quote unquote. Gardner Minshew can play. He could play. And when you look at it from an injury perspective, okay, is Quentin Nelson gonna play? He's questionable. We know Anthony Richardson is out. Ryan Kelly is out. I think that's huge. Kenny Moore, he's one of the best slot corners in the league. What can they do offensively is the key, right? And how much, do you trust, their running back situation without Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss? Like I'm right. So everything in me says take the Ravens, but I can see where, because it's the NFL, you're gonna get screwed. Totally get screwed.
Before we finish on that game, XXX jumped in the chat for the first time. Casey banged up running back or New Orleans rookie running back. Put the names in the chat. We'll tell you who we think you should start. Also, we had Dr. Eagle. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Appreciate having you back. Said, what's your thought on the over-under in the Colts-Ravens game? So before we get to your official pick for Colts-Ravens, tell me what you think of the over-under.
So the over-under is 43 points on DraftKings. Is it the same thing on MGM?
Yeah, 43 on MGM.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to take the over here.
In the rain.
In the rain.
In a tropical storm. With a backup
Like
quarterback.
that. It is not that
with
bad.
A backup quarterback.
You making it sound like it's a typhoon.
Dude, it's been raining there for a full day. Like the field's going to be a disaster. I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
You would. I'll
take the under.
Like you want 14-10?
I already bet that. That's what actually. I bet that before we even started. I bet the under on that game. So
10 players on the field.
I'm just saying, man. I hate betting unders, but all signs point to we've got a backup quarterback. We've got the Ravens who never score a lot, who don't run up the score. You know what I mean? It's not like this is the even the Bills. You know what I mean? Or the Bengals.
Right.
I don't
Lamar
think
pop
so.
off, man. Lamar gonna pop off.
I believe in Lamar. I love Lamar. All signs point to the under for me on this one. It's still
take the under. That's fair.
It's still like a regular over-under. They're saying that the weather has no effect on it, and that is making me think I want to take.
But 24-20, and you got the over. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lot.
You're right.
But Gardner Minshew's quarterbacking. Again.
So somebody asked if Michael Pittman's going to have a big game today. Oh, Belly from Duval. What's up, man? Somebody asked if Pittman's going to have a big game today. I'd stay off of Pittman if you could. Again, in the rain, backup quarterback, and yes, Gardner Minshew can sling it, but if I had a different fantasy option, I would take it. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. And Ravens got good cornerbacks, man. Marlon Humphrey's still a guy, right?
Yeah. I think they're a little bit beat. I feel like they're beat up in the secondary, and I think somebody said that. Yeah, Belly said that they're beat up in the secondary. But that defense is always good. I wouldn't do it.
Roquan's dirty.
We didn't make an actual pick on the game though. I'm taking the Colts and the points.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I knew you would. I like the full. You get the full touchdown and the hook in a sloppy game. I'll take the 7.5. All right. Titans.
Zay Jones
Browns.
is out, by the way.
Oh no!
Injury reports. Yeah.
Zay Jones. Oh no!
I'm going to tell you. This is a tweet right from me and Rappaport. So we got the Falcons. Jeff Okudah is active. J.C. Jackson is a healthy scratch. That's something to keep an eye on if you're looking for a cornerback. The Jaguars, Zay Jones is out. The Titans, DeAndre Hopkins is active, and Salvin Ahmed is out for the Dolphins.
Okay, before we get to the Titans-Browns here, I want to roll a quick little commercial because we're getting pre-roll, which means people are getting cut off by commercials, and I hate when that happens. So I'm going to pause doing content right now. We'll roll a minute's worth of commercials, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. All right. So we're in commercial.
Cool.
If there's any subscribers here, which I only have like 5, they can still hear us. So what's up, subscribers?
Oh, good. Thanks for telling me, because I would say something stupid.
Yeah, you would have. Why do you think that's the first thing I say? Anytime I hit commercial break, is I let you know that we are still live places, including YouTube. What's the site that you use?
DraftKings.
Use DraftKings?
Yeah.
If you want, we can switch
No, keep it that way.
Number I put up to that.
Nah, you're good. I'm going to get dogged on this parlay today. But it's fun.
By the way, this is taking way longer than I expected.
Oh, I don't care, dude. It gives me something to do.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. So this is going. I thought we would only spend a half hour doing this, and here we are. But so we'll fly through these a little bit but luckily both Sturls and I have nowhere to be today, so we can make it a little bit longer of one. Don't forget to put any fantasy questions that you have in the chat. Put any betting questions that you have in the chat. We will go through each and every one of the NFL games. We've gone through about half of the early slate so far, and we'll continue right now. Jacob jumps in the chat for the first time with a Go Niners. Decimated the Giants on Thursday, but nobody expected any different, right? So they're looking tough right now. They're looking real tough right now. All right, Titans at the Browns. Titans picking up 3.5 points, and they just make it ugly, man, all the freaking time. I have no idea how they win games. I have no idea how they're in games, but here you are. Titans are 1-1. Browns are 1-1, coming off I want to say a demoralizing game against Pittsburgh, but one that you felt like at some point you felt like the offense should pick up and start playing better, and I don't know, they don't look great is what I'll say.
Yeah, if this isn't the boringest game on the slate today, I don't know what to tell you. You talk. These are two squads that everybody forgets about, like or should forget about, because I can't stand the Browns and Deshaun Watson and the Titans. I mean, good lord, Ryan Tannehill. If he's not the most punchable face in the league, I don't know who is. So, but D Hop's playing right, and they still got your boy Derrick Henry.
Wait, I thought you
I
said he
just
was
feel
out.
like
He's playing?
is Derrick Henry out?
No. D Hop. I thought you said D Hop was out.
No, he's active. He
Oh,
is active
I
today.
thought you said he was out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's active, but I think the Browns defense will be too much. So I'm gonna go. I got to go Browns with the points, man. -3.5.
That's because you don't know what you're talking about. I just
Sure.
placed Titans with the 3.5. Listen, I just don't. I honestly think that this is going to end up being a field goal game. So I'll take the 3.5.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, both these teams, they just always play super close games. Kaioken style says, as a Browns fan, the Titans are winning, but defense is a stronghold. Yeah, listen, Browns defense is great, but somehow the Titans defense is also great every year. I have no
Mike
idea.
Vrabel.
I don't know who he sold his soul to make it so he's got a good defense every freaking year, but he
Belichick.
does.
He sold his soul to Bill Belichick.
And if you look at the Titans' first couple games, it was what, 17-16 versus New Orleans, and then 24-22 versus the Charger, right? Like they're stupid all the time. So I'll take the 3.5 points. And if this is the game Deshaun Watson pops off, then I'll eat my words. But yeah, the Titans are somehow still relevant, and it annoys me.
You know what I hate to admit? You might be right on
it.
this one. You might be right on this one.
Might be.
Oh,
Have you
here
met
we
me?
go.
Have you
Here
met
we
me?
go.
All right. Go ahead. I was trying to give you a little lead to talk smack there. Go ahead.
I don't need a lead, buddy. All right.
I have to
I
parade you
hate
around like a
every
little
day.
dog. What are you talking about? Okay.
Every day.
Falcons at the Lions. Falcons catching 3 points, headed up to Detroit. Am I going first on this one? I'm going first on this one, I think. Listen, I really like the Falcons as a sleeper pick. I have picked them so far, and they've made me money on the first 2 games of the season. So I really do like them a lot. I think Bijan Robinson's good. I think Desmond Ritter's a little bit better than people give credit for. I think they got good weapons with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. And I say all that to tell you that I'm going to pick the Lions here. I think the Lions lost a game that they shouldn't have lost last week. And I think guys like Dan Campbell are great at making that mean something. So
Yeah.
I just feel like they are going to bounce back and they are going to get this one against the lesser opponent, which is the hardest thing for good teams to do, right? Win the games that you're supposed to win. Like in the NFL, everybody's so close that when you're trying to establish yourself as one of the better teams, winning the games you're supposed to win handily is one of the harder things to do. But I think the Lions, fueled by giving away that game last week, end up taking this one. What do you think, Styles?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we talk about, individual players, the game is still won in the trenches. I love Bijan, but I think the Detroit Lions offensive defensive lines are better right now. So I think that's going to be the difference. And, we get to see Jahmyr Gibbs in full, right? Because there's no David Montgomery in this game. He's injured, right? So we're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs tear it up today. So I'm gonna go with the Lions with the points here. 3.5.
Yeah, we're in agreement. So yours is 3.5. So BetMGM has it as only 3, and I love that it's not the hook. But you're gonna lay 3.5 too.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just think the Lions bounce back after a poor effort last week. Saints and Packers. This is one of the most interesting 11 o'clock games to me. Why, Rob? Because I think I want to see I want to watch Jordan Love until he fails. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is he the real deal or not? And he's had two really bad teams that he's played against to start with. First, he played the
Hmm.
Bears, and they beat their ass, but they're the Bears, right? Then they played the Falcons, who we just
Right.
talked about, and they should have won that game. Um, to me, Jordan Love is just super interesting. Who do you like in this one?
I'm gonna go with the Packers here. I've seen both of the Saints games and I'm not impressed. I think the Saints will win the NFC South. I think that it's gonna take a little bit more time for Derek Carr and these guys to just form that nucleus, right? But I like everything that I've seen from the Packers so far. And we have to like remember this too. It's not like the Packers have like a terrible roster. Like even though they don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore, this is still a really good roster. So I have faith in that roster. Jordan Love is 400 yards just about in 6 touchdowns this season. So he's been a dog. He's been playing really well. You mentioned they really haven't played anybody. I
Yeah,
just feel like the Saints. I don't think they're ready. They're 2-0, right? Green Bay's 1-1. Green Bay is at home in this game, and it's sunny, right? So I'm gonna go with the Packers here.
Packers. This is their home opener too. Their first two games have been on the road. And did you
Yeah,
see what the Saints did against the Panthers? I mean, they just right? Like this is still a defense that Aaron Rodgers had a couple years ago that went 13-3. You know what I mean? Like
right, right, right.
the defense hasn't totally fallen apart since then. Um, so I don't know. I believe in the Packers on this one. I think the defense is going to be good. I like their running backs. And the Saints just even with Derek Carr, I know. See, they scored when it mattered though. But
Yeah,
that first game against the Titans, they didn't look like they could score. The game against the Panthers, they didn't look like they could score. So I'm taking the Packers, and I'll just go money line. I don't need the point. Just I'll take the even odds and just play them on the money line. But I
okay.
think the Packers win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Packers win this one. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. Okay, I currently we've done 7 games. Okay, a $5 bet right now cashes me $421. Are we adding to the slate here, or should I just
Yeah,
do 5 here?
yeah. I mean, listen, we're going down every game. I got news for you. So, but if you want to stop there, that's up to you.
Now, I could stop here and then create the other one. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the games on the
See,
second
but then
tab.
you like the ones that you like versus the ones that you don't actually. But whatever, man. Just keep track of keep track of who
I,
you're
I
picking
got.
is all I'm saying. I want receipts. That's all.
All right, bet. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it all in one. We're going. We're going.
You're
I'm
going
I'm
big.
winning $80,000 today. Let's go.
You're gonna go 16-0 in your picks.
You no.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Like at least
What,
if
what
you
if I did though?
at least if you split it up into two, if you went 16-0 in your picks and you split it up into two, you're gonna be really angry. That's what. All right,
The pro-
bro, you gotta. Hey, listen, you gotta make your own decisions here, man. I can't help you.
I
All
don't know.
right,
What
Broncos.
does the chat think? What does the chat think? Should I do all 16 or should I split it up here?
One's
Let
in the
me know. I
chat.
won't do anything else until they tell me what I should do.
One's in the chat if you think that he should do all 16 games in one parlay, or two's in the chat if you think you should split it up. One's in the chat if you should do all 16 in one parlay. Two's in the chat if you should split it up. Broncos at Dolphins. Broncos catching 6 points going down to South Beach. They left a day early. This is the game I will do a post game show for right here on this channel. So if you're watching this one, feel free to hang out. Let's see. Alchos, thanks for jumping in for the first time. He says all 16 with a $5 bet, so he's betting one. And then Moo Murder Mink. Thanks for jumping in the chat for the
That's
first
dope.
time. He says 3. Just kidding, 2. So he thinks you should split it up. So right now we're 50-50. Someone's got to break the
Yeah,
tie.
someone's got to decide this.
Who do you like? Broncos at Dolphins. Broncos catching 6.
Well, first of all, Dr. Eagles 44 says 1. So I'll be doing all 16.
All right, you put
Okay.
them all in one.
All in one, baby. Okay, so this game is a laughable game for me. Um, the Broncos have really disappointed me big time. Like, I don't know what the problem is here. Russ actually doesn't look bad, right? But you see headlines talking about is the coach fed up with Russ and all this stuff, and it's like he's not playing that bad. It's the defense that's kind of you know shit in the bed. And then you got Javonte Williams. Like I expected so much more out of Javonte, man. Like the dude don't even have 100 yards rushing yet. That hurts my feelings.
Don't blame him.
This offensive line is supposed to be improved. We're not seeing that.
Don't
So I'm gonna go with the
don't
Dolphins, man.
don't blame Vontae. It ain't him. Problem is, they have not committed to running the football. And it's what their offensive line does well. Their offensive line can't pass block to save their life. Every time they run the ball, they start running people over. And instead,
Yeah,
they
right.
decide that they're going to throw it. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
It's bad, dude. And I feel bad that you have to cover them after the game. Like, what kind of sentencing is that? Like you're it's like
Hey,
doing Bills post game shows during the drought.
we're going to have a good time. Everything's going to be fine. And I absolutely agree with Alchos in the spread, in the chat. Broncos with the spread. Yes, I am picking the Broncos. I'm taking the 6 points. They have lost their first. They have lost their first 2 games by a combined total of 3 points, man.
You know what? I hate you.
Why do you hate me? What?
Because, here's the deal. This is what I feel. Okay? That the Dolphins, they've looked great the first 2 weeks.
They
Can they keep it up for a third week without Jalen Waddle now? Can you keep it up 3 weeks in a row? Right? So that means that Patrick Surtain is going to be on Tyreek Hill. He's going to follow him, right? How are they going to answer the call? The Dolphins. They got the Bills next week. Are you looking ahead to that?
And listen, the Broncos haven't put together a full effort yet, okay? Against Vegas, they only gave up 17 points. They still lose, right? Against the Commanders, they score 33 points. They still lose. If they can put together a full effort. Now, and listen, here's the thing, and nobody wants to give them this because they don't deserve it, and I understand that. But if it was anybody else who had a brand new coach with a quarterback that you're trying to resuscitate, the talk around the league would be like, give him 3 weeks, give him 4 weeks. Let them figure it out. Let them start playing together. Give them a little bit of time here. The rest of the season will not look like the first couple weeks of the season. So I'm hoping and betting that they put it together today and find a way to use the short passing game to neutralize that defensive line, to use Pat Surtain to take Tyreek Hill out of the game. They have really good linebackers. I'm hoping that are good at covering too. I'm hoping that they can cover the tight ends. I'm hoping they play well, good run defense, and I hope they run the ball. Don't blame Javonte. Blame the fact that he's got like 6 touches last week. He's got like 15 touches on the year.
That's so criminal.
And Sean Payton has said it too. Sean Payton has said he needs to feature him in the offense. So he knows it, and I think he's going to run the ball. I'll take the Broncos and the 6 points.
Let me ask you a question. Like, how dumb are you? How fucking dumb are you? Javonte Williams can play, man. That dude's good. And he only got 6 touches last week?
I think
crazy.
I don't know what the actual number is. Don't quote me on the 6 touches, but it was something
I'm just figuratively, right?
Yeah.
I pull up and I'll tell you. But that's crazy.
But I think everybody kind of freaked out last week. Like I think the Commanders started coming back, and Peyton's like, "Oh, I got to start throwing the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, dude, chill. You're up by a touchdown still, or you're up by 2 touchdowns still, or whatever it was at the time. Like just run the ball. That is what your offensive line does well.
Right. So I have the numbers from last week. So Russell Wilson had 6 carries for 56 yards, and Javante had 12 for 44.
I mean, but even 12, dude.
That
Like,
that right.
so I think they're going to pound the rock today. I really do. Dr. Eagle says Waddle out for the Dolphins. Does that change any thoughts? No, we were taking that into account when we were talking about
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean? Like, I think that makes I do think it changes things. When I take that into account, it's part of the reason that I'm taking the Broncos +6, because now you can put Tyreek Hill, you can put you have two choices. You can put Pat Surtain on Tyreek Hill and hope that shuts him down, or
Right.
you can admit that Tyreek Hill is a game changer, and you can put Damari Mathis on him and double him the whole time, if that's what you want to do. Because if you're afraid of his speed.
And we talked about this last night too. How much, they put Tyreek in motion. I think that's going to be, they're going to do it a lot. Because they don't want Surtain on Tyreek. The Dolphins don't.
But if you don't have to worry about Waddle, you can just say, hey, whatever side of the field that Tyreek Hill ends up on, we're doubling him.
Sure.
Like, that's the side that it automatically becomes bracket coverage. And then the backside, you're man-to-man. You know what I mean? And you can just do that all day. Like, let him run crazy. But when he doesn't have Waddle on the other side, it's less threatening. You know what I mean?
Okay, so here's the next thing I'm going to challenge you with on this game. Russell Wilson. Can he string together another consistent performance?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. Yeah, I think the problem Russell Wilson has is when he thinks too much. And I think he'd never understood Nate Hackett's offense. But I think Sean Payton is going to drill it into him. He said last week, if we're having trouble getting the play calls in, I'll get him a freaking wristband. I think it's only going to get better, but I trust Sean Payton as a head coach to teach him that offense more than Nathaniel Hackett, and I think that was the problem last year. I mean, I did some video breakdowns of Russ doing reads that, like, I mean, it's high school level stuff that he was missing last year, but I think it was because he just didn't understand the offense. So, Butch Senior jumps in the chat for the first time. Wow, LeBron James isn't playing today for the Detroit Dolphins. Thanks, Butch. We appreciate you jumping in.
That's awesome.
We love you being here for the chat. Okay. Man, we are only an hour away from kickoff. Did you see that flip on the screen there? Chargers at Vikings, battle of the 0-2 teams. And I got to be honest with you, if the Chargers lose this one, Brandon Staley might not be invited on the plane back. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, man, dude. I like the Vikings in this game just for the simple fact that the Chargers will charger. Like,
yeah, but the Vikings will Viking, right? Like, this is the ultimate which one of their bad luck franchises is going to come through.
Like, how many times do we have to hear about the preseason, the Chargers roster is one of the best in the league, which it is. But these dudes never put it together. And Brandon Staley, he finds a way to just poop on himself all the time, man. So I like the connection with the Vikings here. Justin Jefferson, they got a hot rookie, right? Jordan Addison's playing out of his mind. I'm gonna put the onus on the home team here. I think the Vikings will win this game.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Of course you would.
I think the Chargers. Listen, the Vikings will be in a bad place at 0-3, but I think they don't care. Like, I think they might look to trade Kirk Cousins. I think they might tank. I think their fans, they did so well last year. I just don't feel like there's going to be a lot of heat. If Brandon Staley loses this game, he might get fired. I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, he might get fired after this game if he loses this game.
Well, guess what? So, that's what I'm going with. But hold on.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. Listen, the Chargers, even though they charger, they still win 9 games a year. Those have to start coming somewhere.
That's tough. You're right.
No. You picked the Vikings. No.
I mean,
I don't like all this.
I'll go 10 toes down on it. But
no, I don't. I don't like this flip flopping I'm getting from you. Say it with your chest.
I just did. Look. Here we go. So my parlay right now is 8 teams. Okay, Right now, I'm slated. If I were to hit all these, I get $1,600. Once I add the Vikings -1, it jumps to $3,100.
Yeah, because the odds of you hitting all 8 morning games are
We
super
know
small.
this. We know this.
So,
God,
who you picking?
I just told you. I'm going with the Vikings.
You go okay. You're sticking with the Vikings. Alcho
Yeah,
says take the over on the points. Listen, the over right now is what 53 and a half.
54.
That's a big over. It's a big over.
Take the under.
Uh, I mean,
Acho
Alchos
says
likes
take
the
the under.
over. He says take the over, and I
Take
do
the
think
over.
both teams will
All right,
score,
bet.
but I don't know that I would bet it. All right, I got to run another
Acho,
commercial.
I just did.
I got to run another commercial break so people don't get ads coming in. You won't miss any content. I'm just going to roll a minute of ads, and then we will be right back. All right, our commercial question of the morning. Pumpkin spice or apple cinnamon?
Apple cinnamon. The only
Don't.
spice I want to taste is ice spice. Okay.
That's a great answer. Remember, this is just for YouTube and subscribers, so this is a special little answer for them. Wait, why do you hate pumpkin spice?
Because it's not ice spice.
Yeah, but what?
I mean, look, pumpkin is basic. No, hey, I ain't eat no pumpkin. Give me some apple, dog. Give me some of that apple cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Give me
I
that
mean,
ice spice.
my answer is apple cinnamon just because I've liked it since I was a kid, and I like it better than pumpkin spice.
So you think because I'm black, I'm supposed to pick the pumpkin?
Whoa! You can't come. Literally, the commercial ended right when you said that, and people can't hear that without context, my man. It's trouble. Tezo jumping in the chat for the first time says apple cinnamon, and the reason that they're saying that is our commercial question was pumpkin spice or apple cinnamon. So feel free to drop in the chat whether you're a pumpkin spice person or an apple cinnamon person. I think it's got nothing to do with your race if you like pumpkin
It
spice or
does.
apple cinnamon. So, no, this is not fried chicken. It's different. All right.
Hey, I need some of that today. I ain't gonna cap.
All right, yeah. Tell us what you like: apple cinnamon, pumpkin spice. That is our commercial question that we just ran there. All right, we're in the afternoon games. Panthers at Seahawks. Panthers catching 4.5. Your thoughts?
Give me the Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, we kind of chatted about him last night. What, 4 yards of separation per route, and Tyler Lockett seems to be the forgotten man here. So I'm really not confident in the Carolina Panthers' ability, even though Bryce Young is not playing today. Their offense just looks anemic. I can't get behind that. So my money right now goes with the Seahawks.
Caustic, what up, man? I agree. Fried chicken isn't everyone food. I was just, he was talking smack about pumpkin spice and apple cinnamon, so I had to throw it out there. Yeah, I think this is a perfect spot for the Seahawks to get healthy. I don't think they should have won that game versus Detroit. They somehow managed to pull it out. But getting the Panthers having to fly, it's literally like what, the third longest flight in the NFL?
Yep.
Because the only ones that would be further would be Miami flying to Seattle and Jacksonville flying to Seattle. So the third longest flight you could have to play an NFL game, Panthers flying across the country to play the Seahawks. I'll lay the 4.5, no problem there. Okay. Bears at Chiefs. God, this thing. Half of me wants to stay off of it, but my rule is to bet every NFL game.
God. So, okay, here we go. So the Bears, Justin Fields is garbage. He's garbage right now. I don't know if it's the offense. I don't know if it's him. Well, part of it's him. I don't know if it's, from watching the film on that, because I wanted to see, like, okay, what is Justin Fields processing like? Like, is he just not trusting what he's seeing? Like, you can, and all you have to do is look at his feet. His feet. He's got happy feet back there, right?
Yeah.
He has protection, but he's just not letting it rip. So Against the Chiefs defense is good. Even and it's 12 and a half. Like typically I say stay away from games like that. But today, the Chiefs who haven't looked great on offense, by the way, Patrick Mahomes is going to pop off.
All
You
right,
got to go with the
so
Chiefs.
thanks to Spanto for jumping in the chat for the first time. He says minus 750 seems accurate. And when you were talking about Justin Fields, he said, according to him, it's everyone else.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
that's
trying to
part,
save himself.
but that's part of the reason that I just hate this game. They have had
Yeah.
so much turmoil in that building. Not only his comments, but how about their defensive coordinator resigning? How about an FBI raid on his house, which turns out did actually happen, is what I heard. What a disaster of a week. I think the Chiefs hate how they've played, and that's a scary proposition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, Patrick Mahomes has still been Patrick Mahomes. Their wide receivers have been really bad. Their defense has been really good. But I think an angry Chiefs team is a bad, bad group. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I have a hard and fast rule. I have not gone against this rule. I can't remember the last time I went against this rule. I never bet against 10-plus point spreads in the NFL. Never. And there is a stat floating around somewhere in the internet that I'm sure someone will go find that says that since 2000, if you bet every 10-plus point dog, you're hitting at like 62%. Because the NFL is that close. It's that small of a margin that even these big teams, the good teams, lose these big spreads. The other team covers because the NFL is just that close. I'm betting the Chiefs today. Lay the 12 points. I think the Bears are a freaking disaster right now. They are a disaster. And so for the first time since I can remember, I'm going against my rule. Lay the 12.5. Chiefs at home.
So Casa Contagion says back off Justin Fields, Buckeye hater.
Yeah, he knows. He was here last night. He knows. He knows where you're from. He knows what you do. All right, Cowboys at Cardinals in the most blah matchup of the day. I'll go first. Listen, my rule stands. 12.5. The Cardinals have been in the lead in each of their first two games. The Cowboys, of course, are going to come in and blow them out. I have absolutely no reason to pick the Cardinals here, but it's my rule. I'm picking the Cardinals.
They've played tough. The Cardinals have played tough for 2 weeks in a row. But because I went with the Chiefs, I'm gonna take the Cowboys with the spread, even though Dak's gonna let me down today.
You just feel like this will be a de facto home game for them, right, in Arizona.
Right.
But I do think the Cowboys are good. I literally am searching for a reason to pick the Cardinals, and Trayvon Diggs is out. I don't know. I got no reason to do it. That Cardinals team is hung tough. So give me the 12.5 points, and let's see if we can make it interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, Sunday Night Football. Of course, we have to watch this garbage game on Sunday Night Football. Steelers at Raiders. Steelers getting 3 points. Why is this team always on primetime? I can tell you why. I can tell you why, but I don't. It's just stupid is my point.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers here. I just think their defense will be too much for the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo is you want to talk about the poster boy for mid? That's Jimmy Garoppolo. Like he said,
not looks though, not looks.
Not looks. He's cute, but when it comes to play on the football field, just God, I saw him up close and personal last week in Buffalo. My guy is buns. He is ass cheeks. He is Charmin soft and ass cheeks. So, give me the Steelers, man.
Metronome, thanks for jumping back in. It's good to have you again today. 6 Super Bowl championships entered the chat. Yeah, we get it. We get it. Steelers won a lot before you were alive. That's fine. Good for you. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody wants to watch the Steelers and the Raiders game tonight. Metronome, you don't even want to watch the Steelers and the Raiders game tonight, okay? Like, let's be totally clear about it. See? True. I was just waiting for him to answer. Nobody wants to watch the Steelers-Raiders game tonight. But I still have to put a bet in on it because I said I would. God, this game might be like 10-7.
Yeah. Scored by the Steelers defense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot decide what I want to do here. Listen, that Raiders offense looked really good the first drive of the game last week against the Bills, and then just pissed down their leg the rest of the game. And the Steelers offense could not get a thing done if it wasn't for a pick six and a scoop and score. Man, I don't know.
They had NFL Youngboy on a quick slant that went the distance. That 74-yard catch and run by your boy Pickens.
Yeah, listen, how annoying is it, by the way, that it's Pickett to Pickens?
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
I just don't want to bet this game. Like, it's amazing
Well, you
how
have
much
to.
I know. I said I would bet every game. All
Right
right,
now, I'm sitting at 40,000. I'm sitting at 40,000 right now. So
I'll take the Steelers plus the 3. I mean, I really feel like there's not going to be a lot of scoring in this game, and the fact that you're getting a full score either way, I think does matter. Official Cuzzy jumps in the chat for the first time. Appreciate that. Official Cuzzy says take the Steelers with the points and the under. I think that's right. I think that's bang on. So I will take the Steelers and the points, and if you held a gun to my head, I would absolutely bet the under on it. I think this game should be a pick 'em. I don't think it should be 3 points either way. I do not think home field advantage in Las Vegas is worth 3 points, and I do not think the Raiders are 3 points better than the Steelers. In fact, just like we talked about that Cowboys game being a de facto home game for the Cowboys, this might be a de facto home game for the Steelers. So give me the 3 points. Call them a home dog. Give me the 3 points.
Oh, you did not.
What?
My home dog?
No,
That's what you just did.
I said call them a home dog.
I thought you said my home dog like Mahomes.
Get out, man. Just a home dog, a home underdog, home dog. Learn betting vernacular. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Eagles tomorrow night. Eagles at Bucks. Wow, why is that our Monday Night Football game? We have 2 Monday Night Football games. Is the good news. This is the one that starts at 7:00. What do you got for Eagles and Bucks, Sturls?
The Bucks have been playing pretty well, man.
Yes, yes.
I like what I've seen from them. Even though Baker Mayfield's he's a chump, but
Wow.
I think I'm gonna go with the Bucks here with the points.
Do you
even though the
think
Eagles might win.
Hold on, time out. Do you think he's the problem, or do you think the Browns were the problem? Let's be real about it.
They're both the problem. Baker's extremely. He's not great. He's okay. To be the first overall pick, you expect more. So I think they'll keep it close, though. I think, even though the quarterback position's sus, I still feel like the Bucks have a good team, right? So I'm gonna go with the Bucks here.
I just don't think 4.5 is enough. I agree with you. I agree with everything you said, but I'm staring at that 4.5, and I'm like, if it was 6.5, 7.5, I would take the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to be driving down the field at the end of the game trying to tie it, and I think the Eagles' defense is going to stop them. Now, the Eagles are pretty beat up, but I just think Eagles are the class of the NFL right now,
okay.
And I think they know what they do well, and they're going to continue to do it well. Okay. So I like the Eagles to win. I like it to be around a touchdown, but I just don't think 4.5 points is enough. So I'll take the Eagles and I'll lay the points.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Yeah,
Rams, Bengals.
Yeah, official Cuzzy agrees. I was just looking at the chat real quick, trying to make sure I got everybody's message in here.
All right.
Okay. Rams, Bengals. If I told you at the beginning of the year that only one win would be coming into this game, of the 4 games these two teams that had played beforehand, that there was only one win on the board, I bet you wouldn't say the Bengals were the team that was 0-2.
Yes, facts.
So this Rams team is possibly frisky. Right? Like you got a vet quarterback, a vet coach, and just every young guy you've ever heard of in your entire life. And guys like Puka Nakua stepping up for them. You know what I mean?
What a name.
Hey man, that's why he's fun, isn't it? He's also fun because he's set the record for the most catches for a rookie wide receiver over their first 2 games last week. But that's what happens when you have Matt Stafford throwing you the ball. Just a heady old vet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Rams getting 3 points at Cincinnati. How healthy is Joe Burrow? I mean, that's really the only question on this game, isn't it, Sterls?
Yep. And, if you got to sit the guy. You got to sit him a few weeks and let him get right. Or you're going to squander the season.
But you've already lost 2 games.
Yeah. Right? So why play him?
Because you need to win. That's why.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather have him miss, 2 to 3 more weeks? Kind of figure it out, maybe get a win or 2, and then kind of just do a big push at the end? Or would you play him now, risk him for injury? He gets injured, now he's out for the season with a torn calf.
Listen, I got to be honest. If you think there's danger of him tearing his calf, that's a whole different thing. But I got to be honest, this AFC is brutal. Absolutely brutal. There are so many good teams in the AFC this year. You are 0-2, and not only are you 0-2, you are 0-2 in the division.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to give games away, I don't think, at this point. Even if you're the Bengals, even if you come back with a healthy Joe Burrow, I just don't think you can afford to say, this game doesn't matter, we're going to sit him and come back later.
So who are you taking?
Do you think that's wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong. I'm still taking the Bengals. -2.5.
Oh, so you got 2.5 on MGM? It's a full 3. It's Bengals. Yeah. Bengals -3.
Hey, just so you know, right now I'm at 140,000. By the way. So there's that.
If you hit 15 of the 16 NFL games this weekend, you win $140,000.
I got 15 games right now.
And then you're buying us a studio?
Yeah, pretty much.
15.
Yeah.
And then you're buying us a studio that we can go live from when you hit that?
Oh, yeah.
Nahura Towel says wristband Wilson confirmed today. That's interesting. Russell Wilson has the wristband on.
Mr. Unlimited.
A reminder, I will do the Broncos-Dolphins postgame show live on this Twitch. So if that's the game you're going to watch, come back and do the postgame show with us. All right, I'll take the Bengals. I'll lay the 3 points. I just don't think they can. Man. I just don't think they can afford to let one go. And I don't know. I just like a pissed off Joe Burrow, I guess. I feel good about a pissed off Joe Burrow. All right. So any other questions you have in the chat, fantasy betting questions, feel free to drop them in. You got a couple more seconds before we get out of here. All right, Sterls. So you finished that parlay. Now let's make a parlay that we actually think is going to hit. I want 3 dogs. Let's you pick one, I pick one, and we'll pick one together. How's that?
All right. So hold on. Let me secure my $140,000 purse.
All right. So yeah, you do that, and I'll tell them what we're doing. So here's the deal. It has to be a money line dog. We're betting on a money line win for these teams. It could only be plus 110, but we are betting 3 underdogs. We're going to put them all in the same parlay, and it's one that we think we got a shot at actually winning. Sterls, I want you to pick a team. I'll pick a team, and then we'll pick one together, one that we both like.
Okay? Underdogs.
underdogs to win outright. We'll go with a
Ooh.
3-dog parlay. You found one you like?
Ooh. 3-dog parlay. Okay, let me
All right.
pop up in here real quick.
Saquon Ching. That's a good name. Saquon Ching.
All
Says
right.
Steelers, Titans, and Saints. Saints are our favorite. Doesn't count. You're out. uh,
Underdog outright. All right. Okay. Let's go Titans. That's what
so
I got.
so your pick is the Titans?
Yeah.
Good, because I hate that one. So that could be your pick. I think this might be the one that we agree on. So if it is, feel free to say that, and I'll pick another one. But I agree with Saquon Ching. I like the Steelers here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too.
All right, so that can be the one that we agree on, is
Okay.
Steelers. So right now we've got
Okay. We got
Titans,
one.
Steelers, and now I've got to pick one. Titans, Steelers.
Do the Packers.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, all right, let's roll it. Titans, Steelers, Packers will be our official 3-dog pick. For me, that gets me. Let's see if I put 5 on it. $57 for the winner. Metronome likes the Packers as well. Alchos is going Commanders,
Oh,
Falcons,
I
and
hate you
Packers.
right now.
The disrespect, Alchos. I think you did that on
Bruh.
purpose.
$5 nets me $33.
You're only getting $33 for that?
Yeah.
Bro, get better odds, man. $5. $5 on the Titans, Steelers, and Packers. You got all 3 of them in there?
All 3.
Well, $5 on the Titans, Steelers, and Packers gets me $57. So, Saquon Ching likes the Bucks. Okay, so you're replacing the Saints with the Bucks because you broke the rules. So Steelers, Titans, Bucks for Saquon Ching. Alchos is going Commanders, Falcons, Packers. Let me know if any of your pre-roll, your no, that's not what I meant to say. Any of your 3-dog bets hit. I would love to hear. Come back next week and let us know if your 3-dog bets hit. And nobody answered apple, cinnamon, or pumpkin spice. I'm a little disappointed. Tezza was the only one that answered. I'm hurt that you guys didn't want to talk pumpkin spice with me. Sturls, thanks so much. I had a ton of fun this morning. Yeah. I say we do this every week. You good with that?
Let's go. Let's go. If I can, I'll let you know, but I'm good.
All right. So come back and hang with us. The other versions, listen, if so there's a Buffalo Bills bar that we both go to. If we're going there, it might only be a half-hour show. We might not do a full hour. Who knows? But we will definitely come back and do this again because it was a good time. Okay, finally, we're getting answers here. Saquon Ching, apple cinnamon by a million. Kenny G, pumpkin spice what? Franzi, what do you think about the trap game of the year, Bears versus Chiefs? Man, when we talked about that, 100%, I'm breaking my rule about not betting against 10-plus point spreads. The Bears are a disaster. And yes, it's a trap game, but I'm taking the Chiefs. And finally, Nara towel, apple. Everything else smells like an antique store. And that's
hilarious.
That's how we'll end it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna roll some ads at the end, but we'll be out of here after that. Appreciate everybody for joining. Sturls, you're the man for being part of this. Remember, the Broncos post-game show going to be live on this Twitch, and then we'll do this show again next week. So it'll be 8 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Mountain, 11 o'clock Eastern. Wherever you are, come back and join us next week. We'll do our picks again and even talk about how bad Sterling's picks were this week.
Hey, I'm going to be $140,000 richer, so there's that.
All right, love y'all. We'll talk to you next week.
Are the commercials in?